Hey y'all, this is Cyndee. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome you back to my new Fall Dance ZIA Creation series. This is part 2 where we are drawing in our frame. We are going to be using a tangle called AMATH. We did that back in the Inktober series and it is by Mar Patricio CZT. So come on, let's get started. Well, I was digging that vibe with the music, so sorry it took me a second to say hey. So come on, guys, let's draw a penciled line down the middle of our penciled in frame, if that's not too many pencils. I know some of you guys said last time you couldn't see the penciled lines, and I know, and I'm sorry. I really have done everything I can to darken that. I've got to figure out a different lighting situation where I don't have so much reflected light from the paper, I'm guessing is my problem. But this is simply a center line down the middle of your frame that we penciled in the other day. And hopefully the graphics on the first video were pretty clear as far as setting that up. And so I'll just trust you guys to do this. And you may not need this penciled line. I just tend to get out of whack when I do when I try to make little pointy things in a straight line, and so use it, don't use it, but that's my little hand holder for this tangle. And frankly, I was hit or miss with it anyway. So just do the best you can. I know you're going to do a great job. I really worried about that line a little bit too much, but come on. I really do want it to look decent. Now I'll go ahead and tell you I'm using my 01 in black. I'll go ahead and tell you that this was not a pretty version of this, but I did like the version of this tangle that I chose. So it starts with just these little arrow tops, as I like to call them, except that I extended that down too far on one side, not far enough on the other. So anyway, the trick to this is getting these little arrow top things all the same width apart. Now, I do not do well with this. I started out with them a little bit wider than I meant to. I also meant to outline my frame form with my black PN before I started. So if you want to stop and do that before you get any further, you might want to do that. It doesn't matter either way. It's just a good way to cover the little lines that get too far out of control, right, with having a thicker line itself. So now you're going to come to places where we have already put in our fall dance tangle, right? So I want you to be really comfortable with where that is, where you want to draw before you put your pen down, okay? If you trust the pattern, it will all work out okay, even the ugly edges or the corners, as mine turned out to be. And maybe some of my mistakes will help you come up with a better plan. But just skip the corners to begin with if you want, and then come back to them after you sort of have a feel for what we're going to be doing. And so my method for this is I'm going to go all the way around the frame with step 1, and then all the way around the frame with step 2. I'm not going to finish one particular area before I move on. So I hope you have a little patience to draw along with me today. And even if you have a less than satisfactory result like mine, I don't want you to get frustrated, because with any luck, by the time we get the colors in and the edging in and all the extra fun and the watercolor on the background and such, then, it's going to be awesome. So I'm still experimenting with that. We'll see how that goes. I am just right now back to AMATH or AMATH. I am just putting the point of my pointy arrow thing on the, sorry, this is technical jargon. I know it's hard to wrap your head around it, but um, I'm trying to match that point up with my center line clearly. So just go to the edge, do the best you can, and then see here, I'm not even going to worry about turning that corner because you can't see any of it anyway, right? So I'm just trying to figure out approximately where things should be when I get over here. I don't know how many of you, some of you are very experienced with tangling, some of you may be newer, and either way, that's okay. This is just a guesstimation, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to ignore what's going on in between there and just come back later and do some stuff, random stuff in there, you can do that too. You can choose a completely different tangle from me if that's what you want to do. And in fact, the watercolor that I'm playing with right now for the background is going to be completely experimental. I still have no idea how that's going to turn out. So I'm hoping, it's been a busy physical week for me. I've been doctor's appointments and tests, and apparently I need to have some more tests and MRIs, and anyway, so we'll talk later. Zenders, we'll talk later. So just around the corners, just go as far as you can and then leave a little gap for the turn and then keep going up the other side, okay? It can be kind of confusing. That's exactly what I did, clearly. It can be kind of confusing to do corners, but I think once you get used to each and every step, you'll feel a little bit more confident filling in the blanks. At least I know I did. When I got into sort of the flow of it, the flow of each stroke of the pen, each step, it kind of came together. Now my corners were messy, but I learned a few things. One is if you keep doing the pattern, it will work. And the other is don't curve don't curve your hatch lines around the corners. I'll point that out when we get that far. But I know you guys are going to do a great job. And I'm excited to get to the color. I know you guys are too. You're like, more ink? Oh no, I was hoping for watercolor tomorrow, okay? You guys be patient with me. You'll need your white Prismacolor or whatever wax-based pencil you've got in white, and your watercolors, and we will start having some fun tomorrow. All right, so this is what I've done on my corner. Now, this is not inherently wrong. I probably did need an extra element right there. And so I wanted to sort of turn the corner with that, and essentially that worked. Now here I've realized, ooh, I really should have gone over my border edges before I started. So that's what I'm doing here, is I am going back and doing what I should have done to begin with. So I'm just outlining the edges with a thicker nib so that all of the little edges that come out, you know, I'm going to be hatching lines and drawing into these edges over and over. So a little bit thicker line to sort of catch my oopses will be greatly appreciated. Another of many things that I have learned from Annie. I try not to teach you guys things that I learned from her because that's not cool, but some of the little things, those are just too smart not to share. Like, you know, don't prejudge your results. I figure she doesn't mind if I share that. I just try to stay away from her teaching techniques. Although that is a pretty awesome teaching technique. I think she wouldn't mind if I shared that. That's a beauty. That one was pivotal for me, so I hope you guys can appreciate that just like I did. Because it really does work. And I still remember the exact tile that I was working on when it did. So, yeah, trust yourself. So now I'm sort of going back to each of my areas that I left blank, and I'm sort of trying to figure out how an extra stroke would fit in there on the corners. And I'm inking my outer lines, and I'm going to do that inside and out. And when I finish up, I'll be thickening those lines a little bit, especially on the inside, although I get a little bit messy here on the outside, but I figure by the time the color gets put in, nobody's going to care about the border. At least that's what I'm counting on. So you guys, I know you're going to do this better than me. So that's why I do these things for you, so you know which pitfalls to avoid, right? Okay. Here we go. Now I'm going to do this on the inside. And then we'll do step 2. Sorry about this. I know that's out of order. But the next step I do is out of order from the step out anyway. So you guys know me. It just makes more sense to me than partial auras. It just does. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, look up the step out on Tangle Patterns. And the second step, after you draw in the little mountain peaks, now I'm getting descriptive, aren't I? The next step is to draw some partial auras and then draw some more lines and then finish the auras around it. And I went, why not just draw the other lines first? So anyway, that's what we're doing. I think it'll be fine. You'll see. You'll see. So I am so glad you guys hung in there with me last video. I'm so sorry. I put it live, then I went back to fix some of the metadata and add some tags and things, and I use a different app to do that, one that, you know, sort of clocks my progress and that kind of thing on the video. Gives me, you know, AI suggestions for this, that, and the other that I normally don't use, because their title their title suggestions just, they don't lend themselves to this kind of art. Anyway, so yeah, I forgot what I was talking about, and we don't care anyway. So, woo! Yeah, I need to fix this corner over here and the other one, but this is what we're gonna do on this next step. Okay. And the next step will make this a little bit easier. Unless I'm going to put that in now. I don't remember. Okay, so from the tip of each of these, we're going to put a V shape. Each end goes exactly halfway up your next mountain peak, okay? So now my problem is I didn't figure this out until a little bit later on, and I didn't get all of mine even, but they will get better. Okay, now where you have them evenly spaced, this works beautifully. However, when you start getting your Cyndee gets her wonky shakes in, I've got problems with my tongue today, then that's not working so well. So if you will, because what I wanted to do was do a straight line up from the top of the peak, like from that straight to that. But unfortunately, because of the way that I got them positioned, then I wasn't able to do that, and I realized I just need to put them halfway, and your little diamond shape up on the top will look wonky here and there, but it'll work. Okay, so here we're going to put halfway between from the tip, right? Halfway between, Cyndee. There you go. So half enough. Okay? And then halfway between. Keep going. Just remember, halfway between. And however it turns out, it's going to look fine. Okay? All right. Halfway between. Do a better job than Cyndee does. You always do. Thank you, guys. You're so great. You make me look so good because you're so much better than me. All right. Halfway between. And just follow along. You know, the perfectionist in me wants that whole straight up from the side, just continuing on that line. But, yeah, the imperfection in me could not execute, so... Now, if you can figure out, so that wasn't right, but if you can figure out where you're at with your little mountain peak, you can figure out, see there, half between, right? So just keep going halfway between from each side. A little bit more halfway, Cyndee. Halfway between. And this is where I started narrowing them up and putting them more halfway between. Well, at least I tried. At least they start looking more uniform, so yay. And again, the further apart you put them, the more different they will look. If you do a better job, now if you want to pencil in, exact measurements, you can. Usually I don't care, and I try not to get too far away from my Zentangle roots as far as worrying about outcomes. So this is what I'm satisfied with, but if you want to do a more exact job, of course, please do as you like. Okay, so once again, halfway, Cyndee. There you go. Halfway. Good girl. See? Now, there's my peak. So we need lines going from there up and from the line there halfway down, if I remember. We'll see. Again, if you forget stuff like that, don't freak out about it. Chances are when you do the next step, you'll get it. Okay? This tangle is really not hard, and I really like this version. I wish I had done it better justice, but I know you guys are going to do it great. And see, even though that's not straight across, it still looks okay. So I found as each one of them followed itself around the corner, it sort of sorted itself out. So I feel like I need an extra one in here. So I'm going to draw another mountain peak, even though it's going to be weird looking, right? And then halfway between. Okay, and then halfway between. And see, we managed to get around all of the corners. Now, some of them are funkier than others, but it's going to be fine. Okay, next step is to aura the insides of these. This was the step that was divided up in the step out, and I just put the V in first and then aura'd the whole thing instead of dividing all that up. And that's it, and we're going to go all the way around and just aura the insides of that, just the sides, not the edges. I don't even know what that means anymore. It's been a long day, guys. So my labs came back. I went to the doctor yesterday. My labs came back with my potassium being, I guess, higher than it should be. And so by the time I got home yesterday from running errands and such, the doctor's office had already called me and left me a message, and I didn't get it until it was too late to call them back. And so now I had to, spend the night worrying, well, am I going to drop dead? But apparently it's okay. So I'm going back to do them again tomorrow. I don't know what has potassium in it except bananas, and I did have a strawberry banana smoothie, but yeah, I don't know if that's it. So anyway, I'm off on a tangent. So that had me sort of focused on it today too, so yeah. And making my brain MRIs, scheduling that, yuck. But if there's something wrong, it's best to know what's up. So Tori took me to the doctor yesterday, and she got home and she dropped me off and she went home, and the next thing I know, I get a text from her going, I just Googled this. It looks awful in this horrible frowny face, emoji. And I was like, oh, honey, you didn't Google it, did you? I never Google stuff like that unless I feel like I need more information immediately. I just let it go because knowing too much can be just as bad as not knowing anything. That's my opinion. Ouch. Sorry. And so, yeah, another day, another doctor. That's my life. Oh, my God. At least I don't have to go to the doctor on my birthday later this month. That'll be a relief. Okay, well, we've still got more. You guys will be thrilled to know that the ends of this video are at least double sped. I think one of them may be 3 times speed. I don't know, but it's basically repetition in this, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Repetition is a good thing. And it's like I said, there are lots and lots of tangles you could put into this frame shape. Um, you know, you could use ornamato that we did in the last one, and that might actually be a pretty choice for this. Another one might be Shattuck, would go really pretty for this. Batten would be good. What else? Just off the top of my head. You want it to be interesting. Okay, here, right where I'm doing this on the corner, don't do that. I mean, okay, back up, Cyndee. Calm down. Deep breath. Okay. I thought we were doing something different. No, we're still auraing those inside spots, and that's what I want to do. What I did wrong is when I got to those corner pieces, I ended up doing weird things with my pen stroke when they're supposed to be straight, and so we'll get there. I'll calm down. I'll calm down. It'll be fine. All right. Wow, we've still got another side and a half to go. So this is why I sped some of it up. You know, if I had cool editing equipment like Zentangle, I would like fade out of this and then fade back in towards the end of the frame. I might still do that, who knows. But it'll be fine. I like hanging out with you guys. Although it's more like talking to myself for me, so, you know, that's why I'm constantly laughing, don't you know? Okay. I'll try not to crack you guys up like I did the other night. At least I cracked myself up. Don't tell. I'll know when you guys start listening to the end of the last video. And you'll start leaving me answers to my questions. And they'll be fun. Yep. See there? That's actually not correct on that other end, but again, fake it. Just fake it. Make it look sort of normal and don't worry about the rest, right? Oh, it's the final countdown. All right, Cyndee. Inside. Okay, I'm skipping that because I'm not sure what I'm doing down there, so let me get started here and see. I'm going to come back. Clearly, Tangle just got on the bed. That's his jiggle. It's his jiggle. Okay, Aura. Good girl. Good girl. And now halfway. Cyndee, come on, I'm trying. Been telling you the last 2 turnarounds. That's the halfway mark. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. When I come back in with the hatch lines. Or, no, when I come back. Okay. One thing at a time. All right. Now the dog is getting on and off. You know, I think it might be his fault that I make mistakes, don't you think? I mean, I don't make mistakes, but don't you think it's his fault that I make so many opportunities for myself? Hi, Groot. Is Groot a good boy? Is Groot a good kitty? Groot's a good kitty. My son right now thinks I'm stupid. Because I'm in here going, who's a good kitty? Is Groot a good kitty? Simba just lifted his head up and looked over his shoulder at me like, seriously? Come on. But I want to say hi to Groot. Hi, Dana. Hi, Groot. And the big dog, Jazzy? No, Jazzy is somebody else. Jazzy's definitely somebody else. I don't remember your big Bernese, right? He's a big, no, a Pyrenees. No. I don't know. It was an E's. One of those E's names. Okay, so next is to make another aura of the top line and inner aura there, and we're going to ink the center of that. Okay, so this tangle is all about diamonds and auras, right? This is and again, a good example of a tangle. All auras, all repetition, every single step repeats. You guys are going to think I'm messed up, and I'm really not. I'm just tongue-tied. But every step repeats, and you know, you can, you know, vary some things about it. It would go in a circle, you know, it could do radial, it could, you know, do ribbons, you could do side by side and see what kind of patterns it might make. You know, there's all kinds of interesting possibilities. And so definitely an example of a tangle. So aura the top, inner aura, ink. Now all of my little inked spots are different sizes, right? But I am not sweating it. It's going to be fine. By the time I shade around in there and do this and that and the other, nobody will be looking at this, I hope. Because my frame was not my best part of this. But again, the goal is to learn something as we go and have something pretty at the end. And I hope mine is pretty. I'm not counting on it because what I'm about to do to the background is a little bit scary. But we're gonna find out if it works, and then if you guys watch me do it and it doesn't work out, then you don't have to try it on yours. I'm gonna use a mix of Inktense, Derwent Inktense violet pencil and my ooh, is that a General's that wash that graphite wash pencil that they have, the Sketch and Wash, that's what it's called. That pencil. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add a little bit of a sort of a purpley storm looking concoction inside my frame for the background, and I had already put a kind of light, pretty fall day blue around the outside of the frame. So that's kind of, see what you get when you actually watch these videos. You get hints about tomorrow. You know where we're going. Ta-da! So it's going to be great. And at least that's what I'm hoping for. And you guys, for sure, now that won't probably be tomorrow's video because putting the watercolor on the fall dance is a day's work and then some. But I found it very cathartic. I love watercolor, and I love mixing colors. I love just sopping it in water and watching it spread. There's just nothing about watercolor I don't enjoy, and we'll see if you guys feel the same way about it. You know, as always, I'll have one or two tips for you, hopefully that will help. Now see how weird I did this? It's just because, again, I'm aura-ing the top and then an inner aura, and I'm going to ink whatever's left. Again, this will work if you follow the steps. Now, they might not look excellent. Come on, that looks excellent. But, but they will turn the corner, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I'm telling myself right now. Now, of course, then I have to go back later with my glasses on and where the light's not quite so reflective, and then fill in all of my little stars that show up later. I'm always amazed at how many I miss. So I think I've done a really good job, but no. So this is literally the next to last step because there's one more. And the last one is really, really easy, but again, it also is time intensive. So I think somewhere in here, I am going to start, probably not yet, probably when I get on the back two sides, I will start the speeding it up just a tiny bit, and we'll still talk until the end, or the end, depending on what state you're in, or country for that matter. How is everybody out there doing? How are your kitties and puppies? Much love to you all. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Karma. Karma's a good girl. Karma's a good girl. My puppies are well. Simba and the rotten puppy, you know his name, Tangle. They're all asleep on the bed. River's in there snuggled up on the couch waiting for Mari to get out of his bath. So it's a family thing. Those rotten dogs, though, they have been getting out. They have gotten out of the gate every day this week. And I know I have told you guys in other videos about that woman that lives down the street that wants to call the police every time she sees Simba simply because he's a Rottweiler. He's really just the best dog in the whole world. And she calls the police about it. I'm really offended by it. I have to tell you. I try not to get bent out of whack, but anyway, so she showed up again today. We had my brother-in-law, I think I told you guys, were putting up a new fence piece for us out and back, and so they have been pushing through a hole that they made in the fence, and they keep getting out. And so they got out again. They pushed through this hole again today, and so she came and bam, 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 bam on the door and ringing the doorbell over and over and over, and I just know she has called the police. So I can't get up fast enough to get there, and my aide opens the door, and she goes, "Cyndee, your dog's running down the street." I said, "It's okay. Don't call the police. They're not going to bite you." I'm so mean. Is it just me that got older and just quit caring what anybody thought? I was just going to tell them the truth. Is that just me? Or do you guys get more honest the older you get? Or is it just you get more mean? Because that's also possible with me. Every time he gets out, she calls the cops. And it's like, what are they going to do? He's just going to lick them and be their friend. That's all. So anyway, I went out to see if I could, Jessica ran out there to see if she could, get them. They adore her, so they'll come to her. And I went out, and this lady was standing in the middle of the street, and Simba had sidled up to her, sat down in front of her, and was just nuzzling her hand. She goes, "Is he a pit bull mix?" And I'm like, "No, he's a Rottweiler, a full-blooded Rottweiler." Oh, she had been calling the police for years because she thought he was a pit bull. She probably would have called him faster if she'd known what he was. But seriously, he is the least dangerous dog unless you try to hurt his people, in which case he will mouth your butt, won't you, bud? So anyway, that was part of our day. And between that and everything else, I have just not kept on a good schedule. I hope you guys will give me a pass this time. I do have the next 2 videos done as far as filming, but I'm still trying to make some decisions about the very last parts of it. And so now that you know kind of what's going on, you'll know what to expect. And yeah, it's just like I told you, big ZIAs, like larger size ZIAs, they take a lot of time. It's art. It's absolutely art. So don't let anybody tell you that what you do is cute. That's I hate when my family treats me that way. "Are you still doing your little show?" Yes, Kathy, I'm still doing my little show. "Well, I'm so glad that makes you feel good about yourself." I just want to smack people when they treat me like I'm stupid. I know a backhanded comment when I get one. I especially know it when I get it from my own sister, so come on. And it's not like she would ever deign to watch one of my videos, so I can say whatever I want. And I'm not in trouble. Maybe once I pass, she'll watch my old videos because she's languishing in despair for me. No, I don't think so. I think we're all safe. So, I'll try not to take it personally. You guys try not to take it personally on my behalf. We'll all be happy, and it'll be a new morning tomorrow. Of course, I might not get this uploaded tonight. No, I should be able to get it uploaded because I did the thumbnail and the title already. So, just last time I tried the first one that I uploaded, I guess it was extra long, but whew, I re-uploaded that like 4 times the first night. It was crazy. Took forever. Oh, look, the end is coming into sight. We are winding down. It won't be long. Okay, I won't sing. But YouTube has been offering me Simon and Garfunkel like crazy lately. Well, what can I say? I like my old school stuff. It's not necessarily better than anything they've got today. It's just different. It's a different vibe. You know. I just happen to think that his lyrics, Paul Simon's lyrics, are just amazing. So, I mean, but then, 70s music, if you got the right kind, they could have pretty good lyrics. That was before it was all about you. Well, I don't need to tell y'all. Y'all all know what it's all about now, so. Oh, I forgot to talk. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Okay, all done. So this is going to be quite a bit quicker. The last step on this is to where we arid the second step, or the third step, or whenever. We're just going to put little vertical hatch lines in there, although I suppose you could put them in horizontally if you really want to. I'm going to do mine vertically because I don't have that much creativity going right now. But anyway, this is it, just vertical lines up in here. And then towards the end, I'm going to take my PN and again reinforce those outer lines from the frame. And we will be done for today. I thought I would go shorter. And some of you are probably way ahead of me. So thanks for being patient, and I appreciate it. But yeah, maybe I'll put some Simon and Garfunkel in here. I would, except they'd take all my money. What little money I get. Slow down, you move too fast. Do. Gotta make the moment. Oh, it's morning. I'm getting the lyrics wrong all this time. Well, I like the moment instead of the morning because I want all my moments to last. Well, not all of them. Right here, this part. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Don't go around that corner with a curved line. Make it straight. Figure it out. Do it differently than me, but make your lines straight. Don't curve because that looks funny when you get done. I'm just saying. That might just be me, but yeah, that looks funky to me, so don't do that. I would just do it straight up and down, like from corner to corner, or from tip to tip, or do it vertically. I don't know, some way, just put them in straight. They'll be fine. Or you could put them straight up on the one side, straight down on the other, and sort of make a corner there. If that makes any sense. Probably not, but made sense to me in my head, so it's too bad it's too late for me to fix that. Okay. So, and I like that the hatch lines give it that textured look, and it's different from what we're going to be doing. It was important that I had both a different color from the main set of stuff, and that I also had sort of a different look, not overpowering, but still kind of dramatic, right? So I felt like this frame was pretty good for that. And I'm hoping that the shading is going to really help this look better. Of course, that's always my hope with everything. And the color will distract from it. And, again, don't prejudge your outcome. As I have learned so many times, it doesn't actually turn out so bad all the time. So, see what happens right here. I should have not done that curved. So you guys do it better. Learn from me. Learn from my mistakes. That's really my best thing, right? Making your mistakes so you don't have to. It's good that I have my own niche. Yeah. Simba's belly is growling or making gurgly noises. All right. Talk about getting the home stretch done. Oh, if only drawing went this fast, right? I think this is 3 times speed, so. And see, if you just work this step by step, the corners sort of work themselves out, right? Okay, so now I'm going to switch back to my PN, and I'm going to really reinforce the inside and outside edges, I think. I don't know, inside. I'm going to sort of round the corners a little bit, give it a little bit of a dramatic look, and just, you know, also covering up my mistakes. I mean, opportunities, sorry. Sorry, sometimes, guys, I backslide, and there I am right back at the mistakes. But come on, try to retire your perfectionism like I have tried. That was my biggest block from drawing, was my perfectionistic side. So I am trying to retire that permanently so that I can just get on with living my best life. And, you know, sometimes perfectionism is not our friend. You know, unless you're trying to do photoreal stuff, which I'm definitely not trying to do, thank goodness. You know, there's no point in trying to be perfect. And even if you are photoreal, you're still not perfect, because it's impossible. Perfection is an ideal, not an attainable goal, right? So stop trying to be perfect. Start accepting your reality for what it is, and start learning how to be happy in that reality. That is the lesson, right? If we don't allow ourselves to enjoy the moment we're in, what is life? What good is life? So that's how I feel about that. All right, guys. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time.